is like day 12 for me without a cigarette, and my message for today is smoke weed, not nicotine. And just by a show of hands out there, how many people prefer marijuana to nicotine? Okay? So if you're somebody and you have your hand up that you prefer marijuana over nicotine and you smoke cigarettes or vape nicotine, you need to get off that nicotine, and let me point out why. By you using a nicotine product, you are actively contributing to the same assholes who got marijuana illegalized back in 1937. It was the tobacco industry, my friend. And just knowing that fact alone, out of spite, you shouldn't use tobacco anymore. You shouldn't even use nicotine. Say, wait a minute, it was you guys who lied to everybody and got it outlawed? And say, yeah, it was the tobacco Philip Morris assholes. That is a true story. And it was Franklin D. Roosevelt who signed into the 1937 Marijuana Act, and that outlawed cannabis in 1937. Prior to that, marijuana, I don't know if you knew this, grew wild in the United States. I'm talking about you're driving down the highway and you could stop in a field and go pick some marijuana. It was everywhere. It grew everywhere. There was no debate on should it be legal or not legal. It was just a plant everybody had. So in 1937, they used Reefer Madness, which is like a horror film, and they used it as an actual news piece, and people believed it, just like in War of the Worlds when the guy did the radio and everybody thought aliens were attacking. They used the same method to get everybody fearing marijuana. And it was so effective that even people today from the old school still fear marijuana. It was what a wonderful tactic they used. But now it's time to set the record straight. Nicotine's the bad guy and marijuana's the good guy, okay? Nicotine's the Sith, marijuana's the Jedi, okay? Let's just be honest here. And it's time to set that record straight. So if you do believe that marijuana is better than nicotine with all your heart and soul, then quit smoking fucking nicotine already. You're contributing to the same assholes who made it illegal in the first place, and just out of spite, you shouldn't even smoke it anymore. And besides, bruh, a nicotine-using life is a very frantic life. I bet if you use nicotine right now, you're one of the users and you're actively using nicotine, I bet you're stressed the fuck out all the time, aren't you? It's like, how the hell does he know that? In fact, the only time I ain't stressing is when I'm smoking a cigarette. And it's like, you see, you answered your own question, because the only time you can relax is when you're smoking a cigarette. And why do you think that is? It's because the cigarette, after you smoke it, you go into withdrawals. And you have to get another one to get out of withdrawals. So without the cigarette, you're going through withdrawals, which is a very frantic state. And if you use nicotine, you are almost likely always in a frantic state. And you don't really know why you are in that state. It's because you use nicotine. And if you do believe, like I do, that marijuana is the safer plant, the more preferred plant that we should have on this planet, then do not use tobacco anymore. No more nicotine. Let's just stop it. And you say, well, man, I still want to smoke cigarettes. All right, go smoke some CBD cigarettes if you don't want to get high from the marijuana. CBD cigarettes offer you that calming stress relief without the high. So you can still smoke, and they taste delicious, by the way. So you can still smoke, but you don't get the constant need. That was never supposed to be part of the smoking process to begin with. But the tobacco company knew back in 1937, hey, if people had a choice, they're going to choose Mary Jane over our bullshit Jane every time. So they convinced Franklin D. Roosevelt to outlaw it. And it's been outlawed all this time. And thank God, people are finally starting to say, wait a minute, I don't think what they said about marijuana all this time was true. I don't think it does make you crazy. Like the piano playing guy. Give me a break. So yeah, just to reiterate my message tonight, it's smoke weed, not nicotine. I'm out.